Today we're going to make a fast and easy chicken chili recipe. Let's get started. Hello everybody. Today we're going to make a fast and easy modern chicken chili. When I say modern, I mean no tomatoes. So traditional chilies, you're going to have tomatoes or some tomato product. We're going to skip tomatoes for this recipe. So to get started, I have about 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. This is approximately 1 pound 7 ounces, so call it 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. Now, I'm going to have it cubed up, but I don't want to cube it raw because it's harder to cube it up when it's raw. So I'm going to saute it first. And today we're going to use the Ninja Speedi. It's a nice device. You can use a pressure cooker, frying pan. You can use anything, to make this chili. A traditional Instant Pot would work well, or a slow cooker. But today we're going to use the Ninja Speedi. So in order to do this, though, I'm going to have to turn it around so I can see it. So unfortunately, you're not going to see me hit the buttons, but I'll announce the buttons that I'm pressing so you can follow along. So right now, I have the knob turned down into the stovetop mode because we're going to use it as a sauteer. We're going to saute as a stovetop, we're going to saute the chicken breast. So we're going to pick this up, turn the power on, and I'm going to put it into sear saute mode. And I have it on high or level 5. So we're going to use level 5, high, and we're just going to use some olive oil to get this started. So we'll say start. I'll put some olive oil in here. We're just going to wait for this to get hot, and then we'll put the chicken in. I'll be back in a minute once this heats up. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes now, so I'm going to put the chicken breast in here, and I'm going to guess probably 10 to 15 minutes to get this to where I want it to be. It doesn't have to be fully cooked. We just want to get it so it's not raw, so it's going to be easier for us to cube it up to put in the chili. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm actually going to close the lid and slide this out of my way for a little bit. And now we're going to get to chopping the vegetables. Give me a second to get this out of the way. Okay, so to make our vegetable chopping and slicing easier, sure, you can just use a knife, but a lot of times, people have maybe arthritis or problems, or they're just not good with a knife, whatever. So you can use different types of kitchen gadgets. You can use a food processor. Today I'm just going to show this really nice mandolin. I believe this is the Zakarian brand. It comes under some other names on Amazon and such. And I'll try to put some links to items like this below the video in case you're interested in them. So right now we have our chicken breast on sear saute. That's doing its thing for a couple of minutes. So for the rest of this recipe, I'm going to use the chicken breast as an olive oil, and I have a medium to large onion. And then I'm going to have a couple of peppers for color, basically, and for flavor. I have a nice red pepper, a darker orange pepper, a medium orange, and then a jalapeno to give a little bit of spice and also for some green color. So I'm going to slice all of these using the mandolin. Now the onion's a little large, so I'm going to have to quarter it first. I believe that will fit in the mandolin. And now I'll just show you how this works. It's spring loaded. So what happens is when it's not opened up, this is how it comes. I'll just show you real quick. This is how it stores. It stores like this in these pieces. Okay. Now, you open that up, pull out the legs, then the drawer, and attach your, attach your inlet there, inlet port. Now, what's nice about this is there's no external blades to cut yourself or whatever. All the blades stay internal. There's 3 knobs. We're going to want to coarse cut. So we're going to put the thickness adjustment for the slicer on the maximum. That's going to give us the thickest slices. Now, there's 2 other knobs, and that controls how many strips you want. So you can do, I believe it's 4 or 8, I believe. I think it's 4 or 8. So we're going to just open up one of them. And that's going to give us a nice diced onion, a chunky diced onion, and chunky pepper too. Okay? Now, we'll just load this up. And you'll see, based on the gravity, your onion's just going to fall down. Your hands are free of the blades. It works great. just going to load this in here. Oops. A lot of onion there. It's here. You can see that's a nice coarse chop. Some more onion in here. Now you can see I really don't even need to use the pusher. It's only if it gets a little bit stuck, you just push. I'll see, I'm not using this. I'll try not to go too fast with this, because if you go really fast, it could start flying out all over. Just use a moderate, a nice easy pace. So there we go. All the onions are done. Easy peasy. Now, maybe what I'll do is I'll take away the dicing blade, so we just do slices. So we'll just slice our peppers. And all I did was I cut the stems off, washed them, cut the stems off. Now I'm just going to put them through here and slice them. We'll get, and maybe I'll make it half thickness slices. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah. So again, those are like a sweet pepper. They're not a hot pepper. Those colored ones, the red and orange ones, they're just for sweetness and flavor. They're not hot. Now this jalapeno, this is going to add some spice. Okay. There you go. And there's all of our peppers and onions. Nice and easy. Now I don't mind the seeds and everything in the peppers. To me, that's more flavor. So anyway, our vegetables are ready to go. Our onions and that. Oh, and there's also 2 cloves of garlic. I already have that shaved. I actually use the mandolin to shave this into really small, thin slices. So I have my onion, my medium onion, 2 cloves of garlic, I believe it was 3 multicolored peppers, and 1 jalapeno. And I just diced all that, so that's all ready to go. Now we're going to check on our chicken breast. Again, we're not trying to fully cook it. We're just trying to get some color on it. I don't know if you can see in the overhead camera here, but we're getting some really nice color. I'm just going to let that go. That's been in there for about 5 minutes. We're going to go for another 5 minutes, and then we'll get to the next step. Let me clean this up, and I'll be back in 5 minutes with this cleaned up and this fully sauteed. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes or so on sauteing this chicken breast, so I'm going to turn this off. Lift this up. Up on the counter a little more. Okay, now we have a number of spices, beans, and other ingredients to add. So let me pull this up and show you. Now I've washed these since it touched it before because it was in raw state. And now it's cooked. So again, be careful. All your standard practices when you're dealing with raw chicken. When this was initially raw. Now at least it's. I don't know if it's cooked all the way through. I'm not going to attempt it right now because I'm not interested in that. It's going to cook when we cook the chili. I just wanted to get it sauteed. Actually, see, we got a nice color on that side and this side. Now, I'm going to let it rest for a couple of minutes before I cut this up, actually. Put this over here. Put it out of my way. And now we're going to go through the rest of the ingredients. Now, I'm going to throw my veg in here. Right? We chopped all this. We prepped all this up. Now, right now, this is turned off. It's just hot from the sear and saute mode, right? Okay. Put that over there for now. And now for the rest of our ingredients, we're going to add a number of spices. Okay, and I'll go through these. Again, I'll put a list below of all the measurements and the different spices. So don't worry if you miss some while I'm going through this. So first we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add a half teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. Now we're going to add the 2 cloves of garlic I told you that was shaved using that same mandolin. I've done this prior. Sometimes I like to do my garlic in batches and put it in a nice little airtight container in the fridge, like a lock and lock style container. Now I'm also going to add the cayenne. I have a half teaspoon of cayenne. Add a little bit of zest, or a little spiciness. If you don't like spiciness, again, leave out that jalapeno I already put in, and don't put in the cayenne if you don't want it hot. But I like a little bit of spice, and the cayenne also adds a flavor, a nice flavor to it. We have 2 more spices. We have 2 teaspoons of oregano, and we have 2 teaspoons of cumin. Now this is cumin seed, but I don't want cumin seed. I want it to be ground. So I'm going to do, let's show you what you do if you have that. This is a nice little spice grinder. It's made for spices with a nice little metal cup. I'm just going to put it on here, and I'm just going to grind up our cumin seed and make a fresh ground cumin. There we go. That's all it takes. Put it in here and show you. Oh, it's very aromatic. The grinding of it really just releases those oils. So that's 2 teaspoons of cumin. All right. Now again, these spices should be a good starting point for you. Feel free to adjust these to your liking after you make this and get a good baseline. Decide what you want more of or less of, but this should be a good starting point for you. So now we're going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. We add all of our spices, we add our fresh veg, and now we're going to add our beans. Now I'm going to use an assortment of beans to just give a little bit different color, for excitement. I don't want just all one type of bean. So first I'm going to use some and I'm going to use canned beans to make it simple. It's supposed to be fast and easy. Normally I cook with dried beans, but we're going to use canned beans today. So here I have a can of pinto beans, and I'm going to keep the juice. Okay. 1 can, 15-ounce can pinto beans. 1 15-ounce can light red kidney beans. So now we're going to add some red color to it. Okay. Now I have a can of black beans, but I don't want the juice from this because I don't want to make it too dark. So I'm just going to use a nice little strainer here. So I just want the beans. I don't want the juice from this one. Just in case it would, make it a little bit darker. I don't want that. Okay. And as you can see, the juice was definitely, black color, and I didn't want the chili to be too dark. This is supposed to be a light colored chili. Now, that was our 3 types of beans. Now we're going to add 1 can of chopped green chilies, again for color and flavor. This is, I think, a 7-ounce can. We're also going to add a 15-ounce can, I believe, of Southwest corn. It's corn with the red and green peppers in there, little chilies. Again, that's going to add some beautiful color and flavors. Last but not least, we have 2 cups of chicken broth. Okay. And now we should be able to chop up our chicken. Hopefully it's cool enough. And it does look like it's cooked almost all the way through, which is fine. We're going to totally cook it when it's in here. And again, I'm going to wash this, treat this as if it were completely raw. Again, I sauteed it, to get a little brown, a little caramelization, but to make it easier to cut into chunks. That was primarily why I did it. Okay. And you can cut this up in whatever size you want. I'm going to call this a medium chunk. Medium, yeah, medium chunk. So let me finish chopping this up and putting it in there, and then I'll bring you back here. When we turn it on, we're going to use a roast mode, so I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes. All right, so now that I've cleaned everything up, we have our chopped chicken in there, and everything else is in there. We're all ready to go. So what I'm going to do, now you could put this on slow cooker mode if you want to slow cook it, because the Ninja Speedi has that mode. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bake roast mode to get it done faster, because again, the title of this is fast and easy. So I'm going to do it fast, but then I'm going to turn it on the slow cooker mode at the end in case you just want to let it sit so you're having a party and you want to have it hot for guests for quite some time. But first we're going to use, and I'm going to close it, but let me just show you again what it looks like here. You can see we have everything in there assembled. Close our lid. And now, let's see if I can do this from behind. Turn it on. And we have it into our stovetop saute mode, our knob on the Speedi. And I'm going to choose bake roast, I believe it is. I can't see, sorry. Where are we? Oh, here we are. There we go, bake roast, okay. And the temperature is 325. I want that temperature to be 300. So it's going to be 300 degrees. I think it's 300 degrees in the bake roast mode. That's what we want to do. And I'm guessing it's going to be 30 minutes. So we're going to set this for 30 minutes. Bake roast mode, 300 degrees, 30 minutes. Let's get started. See you back here in 30 minutes and we'll check this out. Okay, we're about 15 minutes in, or about halfway through, and I just want to give it a stir now. Stir everything up real good. I probably should have stirred it the first time when I added this, but it's all good. Everything's cooking. It's looking real good. Very colorful. I'm sure it's going to be very flavorful because I can smell it. I mean, it smells great. So I'm just want to stir it up real good. Check on it. And we're going to go for about another 15 minutes. Now you can, let it go longer. I'm just doing this in the fastest amount of time. Because again, it's fast and easy modern chili. So we're going to do about another 15 minutes here in the roast mode on 300. And then we'll give it a taste. And then we're going to switch this over to slow cook mode for a while for, party guests to get it, whatever. See you in about 15. Let's see what we have. Oh, it looks nice. It looks good. And it smells delicious. Let's scoop some of this out and see what we have. I don't know if the overhead camera can pick this up, hopefully, so you can see how wonderful this looks and smells. The colors, the textures, it's going to be great. This is nice. And this is fast too. 30 minutes and we have a delicious chili. Leave that like that. I don't know how well you can pick that up on the camera. Let's see, I don't have that juice to spill out. I mean, this looks great. All the different colors, yellows, reds, greens, orange. It's wonderful. Let me slide this over a little bit. Get this out of the way. Like that. Now, this looks fantastic. It's a little hot, so I'm going to give it a minute to cool. And while it's cooling, I'll just say the different toppings that you might want to use to put on here. You have your traditional, your sour cream. We can put a little sour cream on it. Some shredded cheese is always a good choice. Sometimes for texture, I like to put some crushed up tortilla chips or corn chips on here. It's a great little item to add some texture and, just add a little more to it. Or, since this is a fairly runny chili, it has a very runny broth, very flavorful, but runny. So you may even want to have some homemade bread squares that you can dip in there like a soup. So you can have, your bread, cheese, sour cream, tortilla strips. Oh, and if you like hot sauce, I have, this is from Pucker Pepper Company. Some Reaper Squeezins, Chocolate Plague, Reaper Racha. Those are very good hot sauces. They're one of my favorite. I'm not sponsored by them, but Pucker Butt, the sauces, they have very mild and flavorful, also up to the very hottest peppers and sauces you can buy. So let's give this a taste. I can't wait any longer. It looks wonderful. Mmm. 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 All the flavors just blending together. Mmm. Mmm. This is a wonderful chili as is. I really recommend you try this recipe as is. I think you're really going to like it. Total time to make this from prepping, cooking, cleaning up to eating, for just a little under 60 minutes, I believe, if we timed it. Now, what's nice about the Speedy is we did the saute in here for the chicken breast. Then we did the roast mode to get this done at 300. And now I can put this on slow cook mode. I'm going to choose slow cook mode. You're not going to be able to see this, but there's a slow cook mode on this device. Slow cook. And now I can choose what temperature. Now I'm going to choose low, because say you made this for a large party, sports event, something like that. I'll put it on low, and you can set the time. Well, there's 6 hours. Low 6 hours. Start. Now you have it. You can just leave this set for your guests. Now it'll go to slow cook. So the Ninja Speedi is really nice for a meal like this. We sauteed, we cooked the chili in a half hour to where it was ready to eat, and now we can just let it slowly simmer and slow cook for 6 hours. So there you have it. Fast and quick and fast, easy, modern chicken chili. I think you'll really like this recipe. I highly recommend you try it. And thank you for watching. Oh, and by the way, please leave some comments. Click the like, subscribe buttons. And yeah, leave some comments. Say what you liked about this recipe, what you'd like to add to it, any tips, tricks, questions. And I'll post the recipe in the description below, and also try to put a link to my website and a link to any of the other devices I've used in case you'd like to purchase them and find them useful. So again, thank you very much for watching. I know you like this recipe. Bye-bye. I gotta have some more of this. This is fantastic. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.